I'm glad you're back.
Thank you, Sally.
Are you waiting to see Dr. Esmond?
Yes.
Oh, I see. I'm Mrs. Esmond. Won't you sit down? Why'd you leave a patient in the sitting room, Sally?
He isn't a patient. He's staying here in the house.
Oh? Where?
In the doctor's room.
Oh, I see.
Yes, and he's to be treated just like one of the family.
Really?
Of course, it's not for me to speak against the doctor, but that man's a thief. He's a criminal.
How do you know?
I heard the doctor tell Miss Duncan this morning. He held the doctor up with a gun, and instead of being put in jail where he belongs, he's staying in the house for 6 months to undergo
Therapy. And you don't approve?
It's not up to me to approve, but I'm not staying in the house with the gunman. I'm giving in my notice.
When do you leave?
The sooner the better.
Hello, Carol. Is Clive around?
Glenda, we didn't expect you.
Why, Doctor?
It's fairly obvious.
Glenda!
Hello, Clive.
What happened? Bad weather chased you home?
No, Paris was beautiful and I was bored.
So was I. Always am when you're away.
This time you must have been really bored.
Oh, and you've heard.
Yes. And Sally's given notice. She doesn't approve of common thieves as house guests. I'm not sure I do either.
Look, Glenda, it's one thing to practice psychology in a prison ward. It's something else again to have your patient in ideal circumstances. The boy's young, he's intelligent. If I can find out what makes him tick, I may be able to straighten him out. The other way, well, it's a complete waste of a human being. If he goes to prison again, he's finished. I'm sure of that.
Prison again?
Yes, he has a record. I've had Carol on research all morning.
Pretty lurid stuff.
Oh, yes, he's tough enough. But he's immature and unhappy, and I think frightened under that hard shell of his.
Frightened? I'd say frightening. Robbery with violence, assault, robbery. How are his manners? Is he possible?
Oddly enough, he's no slum product. Army family, good school. That's what makes it so interesting. But if you don't like the idea, and I'm not at all keen on your doing the housework, I'll call it off.
Why? You know you've had your heart set on something like this for years. Besides, we've never had a criminal for a house guest. At least one we knew about. Maybe interesting.
Maybe dangerous, too.
Don't worry about me. He doesn't frighten me in the least. What does frighten me is the thought of replacing Sally. So, drink before dinner?
I'll be right with you. Thank you, darling.
Don't mention. Sorry, Mr. Clemens. I've been away and didn't know who you were.
But now you do.
Yes. I hope you've been made comfortable.
Why?
Why? Because you're a guest in my home.
A guest? The doctor and I made a deal. This is better than going to jail. Why pretend it's anything else? I'm not a guest, Mrs. Esmond. I'm a prisoner.
Ah, so you've met already.
Yes, twice.
Good, good. Sherry or whiskey, Frank?
Whiskey and water.
Whiskey and water it is. Been reading?
Hmm? Oh, just browsing.
Browsing? You have to read that one.
Not as much as I used to.
My problem, too. Do you like sports?
No.
No shooting, no fishing? Too bad. Do you ride?
No.
You ought to. Mrs. Esmond's a great rider. Perhaps Glenda would take you with her sometime, hmm?
Perhaps.
Darling, I'd have canceled the silly lecture like a shot if I'd known you were coming back.
You never canceled a lecture in your life.
Oh, we did once, Glenda. Remember the year of the big fog?
Telephone for Mr. Clements.
Excuse me. Hello?
What a night you've given me. I followed you there, waited around all day. Took me forever to find out the phone number. What's up?
Don't call me here. A friend of mine.
Somebody you'd like to see?
No, not particularly.
What I meant was, feel free to bring them here.
Any of my friends?
Any of them.
What if one of them should be in trouble?
What sort of trouble?
When your friends are in trouble, you don't ask why or what. You help them.
Ask anybody you like. For the next 6 months, I'd like you to consider this your home.
And what if one of my friends should be a woman? How would Mrs. Esmond feel if I brought a woman to the house?
Ask anybody you like.
Don't worry. I won't.
Bye. Be brilliant.
Am I ever less? Sure you'll be all right?
Of course.
Good. Home by 11.
Or 12.
Very busy man, the doctor.
Yes.
He lectures. Writes. I read one of his books this afternoon. In it, he said that childhood's the thing that counts, your parents and children. But he's wrong. People are born the way they are.
Well, so you do talk after all.
You're an American, aren't you?
Yes. And you're Little Caesar. More coffee?
No, thank you.
A gentleman occasionally lights a lady's cigarette.
And a lady doesn't make a point of it if he hasn't.
Hurt yourself?
I sprained my wrist.
Oh? Of course, Clive's army training. Unlucky you ran into the wrong man. Because Clive's quite a guy, even if he does write books.
Congratulations, Mrs. Esmond.
Sure you won't have some more coffee?
Quite sure.
Would you used that gun on Clive if he hadn't gotten it away from you?
No.
Then why do you carry it?
Why do you ask?
I despise hoodlums of any kind. They're not one bit glamorous. They're just stupid little animals asking for cages. I can respect a rebel if it's intelligent rebellion, but I hate stupidity.
Is that all, Mrs. Esmond?
No. I don't mind this experiment of Clive's, even though I think it's a waste of time. If it interests him, it's all right with me, and I'll help him all I can. Take you riding or teach you hymns. But this is my home, too. And there's one thing I won't tolerate. And that's rudeness. Of the kind you've showed all day, or bad manners of any sort. I hope that's clear to you, Mr. Clements. Good night.
All right, I won't bite you. Nice people, the Esmonds.
Too nice. Soft in the head to have you staying in the house.
What do you mean?
You know what I mean. I know all about you, Mr. Clements.
You've seen my picture in the papers, have you?
Picture in the papers, indeed. I know why you're here. You ought to be in jail right now.
Yes, I know I ought, but I'm not. And I'm beginning to be rather glad that I'm not. What about some coffee?
My orders are to tidy up.
I'm a guest in the house. We're going to see rather a lot of each other, Sally. We ought to be friends.
That's what you think. I've given him my notice. I shall be out of this house in a week.
Because of me?
Yes, because of you.
Aren't servants rather hard to get these days?
Yes, very. Madam won't like doing her own work in the future, and the likes of you should certainly wait on themselves.
I don't think so, Sally. I don't think you're believing at all, because I wouldn't like that. Now clear up that mess and get me some coffee. Mrs. Esmond? Good morning.
Good morning.
I'd like to go riding with you, if you'd let me.
If you like.
You were, 7 when your mother died.
Yes.
It must have been a burden on your father.
Yes, but he was used to that. After all, he was an army man all his life. We had a good relationship. We were more like brothers than father and son.
Athletic type, was he?
Yes.
Was he disappointed by your lack of interest in sports?
No, I don't think he cared.
How'd you get on with your stepmother?
Fine. She was a fine woman.
What did your father do when you were kicked out of that school?
Nothing. Well, he was disappointed, but he didn't mind.
And your stepmother?
She was a good-natured woman. She left those things to him.
You really liked her?
Yes. I've told you. I've told you a dozen times, yes.
So you have.
That was fine. I enjoyed it.
Yes, sir. Coming along. That's not necessary, Frank.
Hmm? What? Oh, I'm sorry.
I think I'll stop writing for a while.
Why?
Oh, tired of it, I suppose.
It's not the writing, is it, Mrs. Esmond? It's me. You don't like me, do you?
You don't matter to me at all, Frank. Not even when you try to paw me in what you think is that cute, casual way. What I don't like is what you stand for.
And what do I stand for?
Something sick.
You sound just like your husband.
Clive thinks you've had a bad childhood. I don't think that's a good enough excuse. Lots of people come from broken homes. I did. I came from two homes thousands of miles apart, and I was a stranger in both of them. My mother hated me, literally. But I made a life for myself just the same.
All right, you've told me, now I'll tell you. You're a phony, Mrs. Esmond. You're all safe and sound and smooth on the outside. You've got everything you want, that's what you tell yourself. But inside, you've got nothing. You're empty. You're hungry.
Hungry?
That's what I said. I know your sort. I know you so well. You act as if nothing could shake you, but in actual fact, you're a tight wire. And it wouldn't take very much to break you. Not very much at all.
Long time no see.
Hello?
Are you coming riding today?
Yes, sure. Give me 5 minutes.
I'm curious, Inspector. How did the police find out Frank Clements was living here?
Oh, we have ways.
Of course. I take it you don't approve.
I wouldn't say that. We know of your professional interest in these cases, and in view of his record, we thought it might be a good idea to have a chat about it.
Good. Let's chat.
Been behaving himself, has he?
Of course.
Kept regular hours?
I've had an eye on him at all times.
That's all what I asked, Doctor.
Look, Inspector. If I'm to win the boy's confidence, he's got to be given a certain amount of freedom.
Don't let's quarrel. The police don't want to be unfair. And we like to see cases straightened out and make good. But in our opinion, Clements is far too dangerous a man to be under your roof.
You're entitled to your opinion, Inspector.
We shan't do anything about it. We can't, of course. Unless, of course, it becomes necessary.
Well, that's fair enough. And I hope you'll forgive my bad temper.
Of course, Doctor.
Don't you want to see Frank? He'll be here any minute.
No, I just wanted to see you.
I'm glad you did. You don't mind if I don't see you out?
Not at all.
Bye, Inspector.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Oh, Inspector.
Yes?
Good day, sir.
Good day.
Don't look so unhappy, girl.
I'm not unhappy. But I am worried.
What about?
That policeman. Frank sneaking out. Everything.
I don't like it either. He's not easy. And he's clever. Sometimes he's like a stone wall.
Give it up, Clive.
Give it up? A friend of yours was here.
Yes, I know. I saw him. Simmons. Are you going to give it up?
No. How was the riding today?
All right.
Glenda keeps telling me how well you're doing. But riding 4 hours a day and staying out late won't mix.
You know about it. I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't have gone out, but I was in a mood. I had to get out or explode.
I don't mind. What I do mind is that you've been lying to me right along.
What do you mean?
You lied about your childhood, about your relationship with your father and mother. She didn't die. She ran away. I know. I've checked. Now, why, Frank? Why do you lie?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but these aren't things I like to talk about.
Why not? You hated your father, didn't you?
Yes. Yes, all right, I did.
Why?
Because he made my mother leave me.
Leave you?
Leave him, then. He drove her to it.
How?
Because he was a cheat. Because he was mean, petty, and cruel. Because he was a bully and a pompous hypocrite. He even had my stepmother on a string before my mother left.
What was your stepmother like?
Tall, blonde, very smart. All ice on the outside and rotten inside.
You didn't like her much either, did you?
I hated her. And she hated me, too.
But I got even with them.
How?
That's none of your business.
How did you get even with them, Frank?
It's none of your business. Leave me alone.
Jim, here you are. That's a good dog. Hi, Carol. Oh, I wouldn't go in just now, Glenda. There's a policeman there with Clive and Frank.
I hope I'm not interrupting.
My wife, Inspector.
Not at all, Mrs. Esmond. I was just telling Clemens here how lucky he is. I didn't know just how lucky either.
Thank you.
Is there anything else you want to ask me?
Oh, not much. Oh, I did want to ask you, you know Menzies, the jewelers in Villiers Street?
No.
Hmm. Where were you last night?
Yeah.
All night?
Yes.
Is that correct? You've got a great chance here, Clemens. Don't spoil it.
It might help if you didn't try to pin it onto me. Every time somebody breaks into Menzies or somewhere.
Good day, Doctor.
Good day, Inspector.
Good day, Mrs. Esmond. Oh, Clemens. I didn't say anything about Menzies being broken into, did I? But it was.
I didn't do it. I wouldn't do anything like that to you.
All right, Frank.
Do you believe him, Clive?
You?
Couldn't be that stupid.
I hope not. What do you think of him, Glenda? Is he worth saving? Do you like him?
Yes. He isn't ordinary. He's got courage. Under that bravado of his, there's something rather appealing.
I don't think he left the house.
Let's forget him. Let's dine out tonight.
Tonight? Oh, darling. Darling, I'm terribly sorry, but I promise you from next week on...
Yes, I know. don't you see what's on the evening papers downstairs?
Okay.
Find anything?
Nothing special. There's a new Western, that's all.
That's all?
That's all.
It's pretty dull. I wanted to get out of the house tonight.
Yes, I know how you feel.
Do you? What would you do if you were on your own?
Oh, I don't know. Go to the Metro, I suppose.
Metro, what's that?
It's a club in Soho.
Is it fun?
Yes, I like it.
Would I like it?
No. Some of the men have no manners. The women are...
Cheap blondes and cheap dresses?
They read Vogue magazine, too. They just don't happen to have so much money.
I'm sorry. Expensive dress, cheap remark. Take me to the Metro, Frank.
No, you don't mean that.
Yes, I do.
But you may not like it.
I'll tell you if I don't.
All right. But go upstairs and put on something a little cheaper. Embarrassed? By what?
Me.
Why should I be?
Dancing like this, I've never felt so self-conscious before.
You always think people are watching you?
I haven't heard music like this in years. It's exciting. Feel more at home now?
What do you mean?
As if you were dancing with one of your girlfriends.
But you're not one of my girlfriends.
No. You wouldn't like a girl like me, would you, Frank? You're hurting me.
Don't fool around, Glenda.
You were right, Frank. I don't like it here. I'd like to leave.
Hampstead Gardens. As soon as possible, please.
You going somewhere?
Yes.
Why?
You know why.
Because of me?
Yes.
What a shame. Poor Mrs. Esmond will have to do all her own housework now. Sweeping, dusting, making beds.
What are you doing?
It's not very nice of you, Sally. Especially when I asked you not to.
You can't stop me. This is a free country.
Now, whoever tells you that?
Oh!
I wish I were a man.
Someday we ought to run up to Scotland. No salmon water in the world like it.
You seem to think the bargain was for 6 months. Not forever.
You haven't got much more to go. What's the matter, Frank?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I'm not cut out for the home life. Maybe it gets on my nerves.
It's understandable, considering the kind of home your stepmother gave you.
Why do you always bring her into it? It's almost as if you were implying there was something between us.
Why do you always pretend she never existed?
And you never stop. You're worse than the police.
Oh, come on, Frank. You've got intelligence enough to know I'm only trying to help you.
I'll ask for your help. I'm here because otherwise I'd be in jail, and right now I wouldn't mind being there.
How was the fishing? Frank enjoy it?
No, I didn't expect him to. Lately, he resists anything that comes from me.
Why do you say that?
Superficially, I'd say that I've taken on the role of his father, and he doesn't like me very much.
You're discouraged?
It's not easy. You think he's been helped any?
I don't know. Maybe it's wrong to tamper with people. Maybe he'd solve his own problems if he were left alone.
You think Frank should be left alone?
How should I know? I'm not God.
Meaning that I think I am?
The halo fits, put it on. Don't pretend you don't love winding people up like little toys. Crazy.
Why? Because you love me?
Do I love you? To make it worse, I'm older than you are.
What's a couple of years?
Even a little older is too much for a woman.
Not for you.
Give me a cigarette. Frank.
Mm-hmm?
Tell me the truth. Were you mixed up in that robbery?
No. I've told you a dozen times.
You wouldn't lie to me, would you?
Oh, Glenda, don't nag. I may lie to you about some things, but not when I tell you that I love you. Good morning.
Go away.
Haven't you finished yet? I thought we could go for a drive.
I'm busy, Frank.
Well, do it later.
I can't do it later. Please go away.
Where to?
Anywhere.
You'll come with me.
I told you no. I've got a lot of work to do.
All right. I'll stay and I'll help you.
Oh, Frank, stop it. Will you leave me alone?
Yes, if you let me stay with you, I want to be with you.
You're incorrigible.
What do you have to use long words for?
Frank, I swear if you don't leave me alone, I'll scream.
All right. Go ahead and scream. I'd like to hear you.
You want him to hear?
Oh, why not? Let him hear. Go on, scream.
Oh, Frank, let me go.
No.
Get out.
You're right. I was trying to kiss her.
So I gathered.
He was just being silly, Clive.
No, not at all. You should feel honored, Doctor.
I don't think you're funny, Frank.
I'm sorry.
I'd like an apology.
I apologize, Mrs. Esmond.
Get out, Frank. I'll talk to you later. Maybe it's time for him to go.
Anytime you like.
Has this ever happened before?
No?
What brought it on?
Are you trying to say I encouraged it?
Of course not. I would like to know the background.
You won't like it.
Just the same,
If you must know, he implied that you were neglecting me, that there might be something between you and Carol.
Carol?
He was looking for trouble, asking for it. Just trying to annoy you through me. I should think that's perfectly obvious.
Obvious or not, he certainly succeeded. Well, shall I get rid of him?
That's up to you.
I'd hate to give up on it at this point.
Do anything you want.
I think I'll beg off that hospital board meeting tonight.
Clyde, for heaven's sake, I can take care of myself.
All right.
That can't happen again, Frank.
Why not? I'd have had it out with him if you'd had the nerve to go through with it.
You really want him to throw you out? Where would you go? Jail?
I'd have to catch us first.
Us?
I don't think I'd go alone, do you? Can you get out tonight?
You are an idiot.
Yes, I know. But can you get out tonight?
Yes.
Go on, 11 o'clock, time we went.
Absolutely not. I'm having too good a time.
I'm ready for a showdown anytime you are. Glenda! Glenda! You've had it.
Why?
Police car, you better stop.
You bore me.
Is the doctor in, please?
These are not consulting hours.
This is private business. It's to do with Miss Foster.
Will you just wait there? Someone at the door to see the doctor about Sally.
Trouble?
Yeah, I think so.
Get Clive.
Right.
I'm Mrs. Esmond. Please come in.
Thank you.
Mr.
Bailey.
Bailey. You've come about Sally.
That's right, Mom.
Perhaps I can help you,
Well, I'd rather wait until the doctor gets here, Mom.
if you like. How is Sally?
She's quite well.
Working?
Yes, no difficulty about that.
Oh, this is Mr. Bailey, Clive. He's a friend of Sally's.
We're going to be married.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Come along and sit down.
No, thank you. Is this Frank Clements?
Yes?
It's about him and Sally.
Yes?
I've come here on Sally's behalf. It's about a certain matter that's got to be cleared up. I think you know what I mean. She was assaulted by this Frank Clements in your house. I only heard about it yesterday.
I didn't know that.
Well, it's true. Sally doesn't lie. When she told me, my impulse was to come and knock his block off.
Well, here I am.
I thought, no, that's too good for him.
And much too risky.
I thought the best way to deal with him is to put him where he belongs. I wanted to go to the police.
But you came here instead.
I just wanted you to know what I decided to do. Sally wanted to forget about the whole thing. She's scared of Clements, but I'm not scared. I want to see him in jail.
But what's he supposed to have done?
Well, he ruined her clothes and knocked her down. He wouldn't let her leave here.
That's a lie.
Sally doesn't lie. She's been terrified ever since she left here.
Look, Mr. Bailey, there must be some practical, intelligent way.
In all due respect, Doctor, I don't think I can...
drop it,
Shut
Bailey,
up,
drop.
Frank.
Go on, let him go on. You can see the type he is.
Mr. Bailey, would you come along to my office for a minute?
All right.
So you see, Mr. Bailey, all of us are capable of anything given the right provocation. Clements had a childhood that drove him to the verge of killing. I'm trying to destroy his urge to hate and fight back. You must see, Mr. Bailey, that in you, in me, in the dark forest of every human personality, there's a tiger. A sleeping tiger.
Well?
I persuaded him to forget it.
Psychology pays off.
Yeah. Was the girl telling the truth?
Yes.
Yes, I did push her around. I don't know what came over me. I just didn't want Mrs. Esmond to be stuck with the housework, I suppose.
Very commendable, I'm sure. She's grateful.
It was a stupid thing to do. I wouldn't do a thing like that now.
I'm glad to hear it.
Oh, what's the matter? Don't look at me as if I was a juvenile delinquent.
Oh, it's you.
Who did you think it was?
For a moment, a burglar. What are you doing down here?
I thought I heard a noise.
You might have swung this poker at me, or I at you. Somebody might have been killed. Good night, Frank.
So you took care of Bailey. You persuaded him not to go to the police. Why didn't you tell me it was £100 you persuaded him with?
Well, I didn't think it mattered.
But it does matter. You bribed him.
Not exactly. We owed Sally something for her trousseau.
You bribed him to bribe me. I'm your guinea pig, and you're trying to buy my friendship.
I admit there are better tests of friendship. That's why I didn't tell you.
Well, you can't buy me, Dr. Esmond. I'll pay you back with interest.
If you feel that way, Frank, turn out the lights when you go.
I've come to check the telephone.
Oh, what seems to be the trouble?
Trouble with the diary. Come on, get over. Come on. Come on. What's in there? Come on. All right. Now you open the safe. Come on, it's not your money. Don't die for it. Come on, fill it.
Give it up, Clive. Please.
It's not that easy.
Not as hard as going on with it. No good. An experiment that went wrong. Call it quits and forget it.
I can't. Heaven knows I could use a rest, more time for myself. I can't quit. I can't let the boy down. I know there's something there worth saving.
All right, Clive.
He hates me, you know. I don't quite know why.
What's the matter?
It's a police car. Listen, I was with you all day.
Frank,
Where were you?
at the butcher's.
Before that.
At the hairdresser's.
I was with you.
At the hairdresser's? That's ridiculous.
It's a very interesting story, Inspector. Almost as interesting as your preoccupation with Frank. I have some comments. But you'd rather talk to Frank, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Hello, Inspector. It's nice to see you again.
I can't keep away from you, lad. Usually I have no feelings on a case, but you're different. You've had a chance in a million, and you've spat on it. So it's going to be a pleasure to get you.
Let me boil the inspector's story down, at least as far as he's told me. Do you mind, Simmons? Go ahead. A manager says he was confronted by a young man in his 20s. Perhaps he was wearing a raincoat, perhaps not. Perhaps he was wearing glasses, and he might have been freckled. And perhaps the manager saw nothing at all because all he could keep his eyes on was a revolver staring him in the face.
Dr. Esmond.
Would you say I'm being unfair? Or did you neglect to say that you had a warrant for his arrest?
I haven't. I just wanted to ask him to step along and see the manager.
Are you serious? You're proposing an identification parade of one?
How do you know we didn't take fingerprints?
Because if you did, you have a warrant in your pocket right now. No, I was always certain you didn't have fingerprints.
Oh, why?
How could you? Frank was with me all afternoon. Not all afternoon, naturally. He did spend some time shopping with my wife. But while I made my rounds earlier in the day, he sat in the car and waited. And for periods not exceeding 10 minutes. Hardly time enough to dash down to Oxford Street and do that job.
Do you mean that?
I do.
Are you prepared to swear to that statement?
Certainly.
I ask you to withdraw it, Dr. Esmond.
No.
I think I understand what you're trying to do. But have you considered that a conviction for perjury would ruin you? For the last time, are you prepared to withdraw that statement? If you do, you need have no fear that it'll ever be mentioned.
No.
You mind if I search the premises?
Without a search warrant? Let's not start all over again, Inspector.
I'm going to pull no punches, Doctor. I promise you.
I need a drink. How about you, Frank?
No, thanks.
Where's the gun?
In your desk.
And the money?
I've got some, the rest's in there.
You get out and bring it along to the office, and don't let's waste time. I want you to be clear about this, Cal. When I left for the clinic today, Frank was with me.
I didn't know.
Well, you know now. He was with me all afternoon. I dropped him on the way home so he could buy some cigarettes. Don't let me down.
Here it is.
Is this all of it?
No.
We'll put it in a plain package and send it back.
Will you do that for me?
You wish me to?
Yes, please. No, thank you.
Go on, drink it up. We deserve it. We've been in a tight spot.
It was a tight spot.
Robbery in broad daylight? That was a tight spot, too.
Yes.
It's a wonder you didn't kill that manager. If he'd made a move, you'd have done it, wouldn't you?
Yes. I wanted to kill him. I almost did.
Did he remind you of your father?
My father? No, he didn't. He didn't look anything like him. Yeah, I was once in a tight spot like this with him.
You were?
It was my money. I'd saved up to buy a bicycle. And he was keeping it for me. When I asked him for it, he wouldn't give it to me, but it was my money. So I went out and stole one. Then the police came. I was so scared, I ran to him. I begged him to hide me, anything like a kid, and he wouldn't. He turned me over to them. He made a great speech about what a good citizen he was. I suppose they thought he was really quite a man. Justice, he said, must be done. I was going to kill him. The day I came out of jail, I was going to kill him. I jumped him, but he...
What happened, Frank?
He was too strong. Too strong. He just twisted my arm behind my back and made me kneel down in front of her. And then he beat me. I always remember the pattern on that carpet, blue and yellow.
No wonder you hated them.
Mostly him. How I hated him. Then a week later, he was dead.
And you were left with your stepmother?
The day they buried him. That night, she got drunk. She started screaming at me. You killed him! You killed him! You killed him! You killed him!
Did you?
I prayed for it. I wanted him to die. I killed him.
What did the doctor write on the death certificate?
Hard.
You hated him. You wished him dead.
Yes.
You got your wish.
Yes.
He died. You were guilty of murder.
Yes.
And you deserve to be punished.
I know.
You didn't kill your father. But when he died, you had to provide your own punishment, which you've been trying to do. All you wanted was to love him, which he made impossible, turning it into fear. Hate, guilt, and fear. And the guilt and fear making more hatred. Don't you see, Frank, all your life you've been following that pattern, living that pattern. Your youth, your strength, your hopes. All wasted in a lie. You didn't kill your father.
Wasted. 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 I don't know anymore. I don't know anymore.
Clive? Clive? Clive?
Go ahead, tell me.
I won't wait.
Hello?
It's a problem about dinner, darling. It's 6 o'clock now. I've got to be at the university at 8. I don't think it's time to come home.
Oh, I see. Well, then, how many am I to expect for dinner?
Well, Frank wants to go with me again. Why don't you join us and we'll eat together later?
No, you two run along. I've already fixed something. I'll be quite happy. All right. Bye.
Everything but my keys. How are you, darling?
Surprised.
I completely forgot I had an article to do for the journal. Have you a bite to eat in the house?
Short notice to feed 2 hungry men.
Oh, Frank's not with me. He's got the fishing bug. He's decided to stay a few more days. Is anything the matter?
No. Why should there be?
You haven't said 3 words in an hour.
I'm just tired, that's all.
I thought with your steady boarder out of the way.
There's still enough work to do around the house.
You don't seem to have tried very hard to replace Sally.
Oh, it's harder to find someone than do your own work.
Obviously, you're up to neither. Glenda, I was going to suggest...
Don't prescribe for me, Clive. I lost my temper, Clive. But you nag.
I'm sorry, darling. I've been under a strain, if that's any excuse.
You under a strain. It's hard to imagine you with nerves.
I don't want to dramatize it, but a case like Frank's isn't easy. Wasn't easy. The things you can't do, Glenda. You can't show fear, dislike, weakness of any kind, even jealousy.
Jealousy?
But you're the one who's paid for it. I've neglected you shamefully, and I know it. I couldn't blame you if you just chucked it all and left. But I want to make it up to you, darling. Why don't we go away for a month, maybe 2? Not you alone or me, but together. It's been a long time.
Well, you planned a lecture tour.
I'll cancel it.
What are we going to do with Frank?
He's pretty much on his own now. He'll manage.
You're the best judge, of course. Mr. Clements?
Room 3, madam.
Thank you. Now tell me, what's wrong?
Nothing.
Then why have you avoided me?
I told you, I can't stand around that house any longer.
He wants to take me away on a holiday for months. Oh, don't worry. I won't go. I wouldn't go anywhere without you. Oh, darling. You asked me to go away with you. I was afraid before, but I'm not now. It would be wonderful, wouldn't it? We're just alike. We know each other. We're fighting the same things. Maybe that's why it had to happen between us, Frank. And now I feel we could make it work.
You'd leave Clive?
Yes. I don't love him.
What about those creature comforts?
I've had them. I want the things I've never had.
You'll be miserable in 6 months.
Try me.
When?
Soon. Very soon. Now pack your things, and I'll drive you back.
I don't think I'd better.
I could drop you just outside town.
I'll get the train.
When?
Sometime tomorrow.
No. This afternoon. Call Clive and tell him you've changed your mind. I'll have dinner for you.
All right.
Don't miss the train. Don't keep me waiting, Frank. seen me really angry. I warn you. You don't know what I'm capable of.
Was it raining in the country, Frank?
Yes, it was a little this morning. All right, I'll get it. I'm expecting a call. Hello? Yes? Yes, all right. I'll be there. A friend of mine. Oh, don't worry. History isn't repeating itself again.
6 months ago. It seems such a short time.
6 months. There were times when I thought it would never end. But it has ended, hasn't it?
Yes, you're free now, Frank.
Yes, I'm free.
Still, I want you to know that you can stay here as long as you like. That you're more than welcome. I want you to feel very sure of yourself before you try to buck the world again.
Yes, thank you.
Glenda and I are planning a long holiday. We've planned them before, but somehow, you know, the same old story. This time, I really want to follow through. Only, frankly, we're worried about you.
Well, you don't have to worry about me, you know, because I'm going away, too. Tonight.
Tonight?
Why tonight?
I have to meet Inspector Simmons at the police station. That was him on the phone just now.
Simmons? But why? I knew it had to be faced someday, but could have been handled.
You know, this was something I wanted to talk to you about, but... well, I felt it was a decision I had to make for myself. You said just now that I was free. But I won't be free till I've paid off. Till I'm all square, then I'll be free. That's why I phoned Simmons this afternoon.
I see.
I wish I did. I think we'd better have coffee and talk this over.
No, thank you, Glenda. I still have some packing to do.
Glenda, would you and Carol spare me from the washing up? I want to talk to Frank.
Certainly.
Frank.
Clive, I've got an awful lot to be grateful to you for, and a lot to regret.
Regret?
Yes, Inspector Simmons sent a message to you. He said he didn't remember your last conversation.
Ah.
Goodbye.
Not yet. I'll drive you over when you're ready.
Well?
You heard.
But I didn't get it.
It's what it sounded like.
I thought we were leaving together.
You know where I'm going.
You must be out of your mind. But anyway, Clive will be there tomorrow pleading for you. They'll let you off easy. Then what?
Then I'm never going to see you again.
Why?
Because I can't go on hurting Clive any longer.
Clive? What about me?
Be human. Be decent. I've been sick all my life, and he's cured me. I couldn't go on living like that any longer.
You haven't answered my question. What about me? It's a little late in the day for conscience. But does conscience always come late? After you've had your fun?
Don't let's quarrel, Glenda.
You're not going to give me notice like a waitress. One of your servant friends, one of your pickups at the metro.
Don't let's end it like this.
Then it mustn't end.
It has ended.
Frank. Frank, please. Now tell me you're leaving.
I'm leaving.
Glenda, what is it?
What happened? Tell me. Glenda, darling, for God's sake, tell me what happened.
It was Frank.
Frank?
Yes, Frank. Frank. Your pupil. Your guinea pig. Your reformed character paying off.
Frank.
What are you going to do? Give him a medal? Clive. You killed him.
Yes.
You killed him. He's dead. You killed him.
That's what you wanted, isn't it?
Yes. No. He was leaving. He was leaving me, Clive. Me. Not you. Me. The man who knew everything. The man who could work miracles but couldn't keep his wife.
And then he changed. walked out on you.
A cheap hoodlum, flipping me away like a cigarette. But you killed him, didn't you, Clive? Do you think they'll send you to jail, Clive? Do you think they'll put the great Dr. Esmond in jail?
He isn't dead, Glenda. He's gone. He isn't there. He's gone. I'm not blaming you for anything. Glenda, wait a minute. Where are you going?
Yes.
No. Let her go. It's been wrong between you for years. You'll never put it right. Let her go.
I ran from the house. He was raving, insane.
Oh, look, I can't believe it, Clive. I've got to get back to him.
Oh, you can't. He has your gun. He says he'll kill you if he finds you.
Well, I've got to get back to him.
Oh, you don't understand. He's crazy. He says he's going to kill you.
Just turn around.
No.
Well, stop the car.
No.
We've got to help her.